It's Nadir.
It's Kev.
And yo, we are Games Music Life. So we're back to review this Jim Jones project. El Capo. Who'd ever thought Jim Jones would have been the test of time the best out of the Dipset?
Is he? Is he the best out of Dipset, man? You just gonna steamroll Cam like that, huh?
Nah, I'm not gonna steamroll Cam.
Okay.
I will say though that but to answer your question, no, I don't think he's the best. I still think Cam holds the best at Dipset.
If Jewels wasn't so lazy.
I don't know if it's a lazy thing. I don't know what it is. He wanted to do the race. He wanted to do a lot of things. He wanted to do the...
Whatever happened to I Can't Feel My Face, like that would have been huge.
That would have been.
But we're not here to talk about Jewels.
Yeah, we're definitely not here to talk about that. Jones. This album is New York, man. I mean, it encompasses what I believe the New York sound should get back to. The Heatmakers threw him a lob. They gave him a layup actually. the production on this album, they gave him some heat, man.
Yeah.
Like it definitely kept my head bobbing the entire way through. The voices on here, like the features, really were just like it just took over to me. I at some point thought that maybe the beats were made for the features, and they were just like, okay, Jim Jones is just here, so it's his album supposedly, and we're gonna throw him on there. But no, Jones, man, like I'm happy for the fact that Jim Jones in the Dipset was like the guy that was just around. He wasn't never really the rapper. I remember I always go back to this, the Basement, or was it Rap City? And they had a cipher on there, and Jones got in there, and he clearly was the worst one rapping. To hear that person be the person that I hear today, he's still not the biggest or best rapper.
I think he knows that.
Yeah, I think he knows that too. But he can make a song, and that's one thing I will say about it. Just going into his history, like I've never been a hater of Jim Jones. I do think though that around a certain point when he did the which album was it? I'm going through. It was the Capo album and then the Wasted Talent albums. Both of them were decent, but it was like I thought he was on his way out. And then this album, it definitely got him right back in there, man. Like, okay, Jim Jones he got something here.
Forced to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that the features that he had on here wasn't, just features to throw in there because it was just hot artists. He got guys he rocked with, and he got guys that, meshed together with him and the songs that he was making. Like, I never would have thought Currency would have been on here. And for some reason, that one is the one that stood out to me the most. Like, the one with Fat Joe was a given. It was a New York City track. Fat Joe's voice, I didn't know Fat Joe could still rap.
Right.
Now, and that was a dope track. But the one with Currency really shook me. The ones with Cameron were good. They were funny too. Him and Fab was dope, So just going into some of the albums, like, the Rick Ross track, Ross bodied that. But Heatmakers, I will say, the shining point of the album, in my opinion, Heatmakers threw this dude a complete lob, man.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Listen, to kind of expand on that point, I definitely think that this is an example of when working with one producer on an album can really pay off. Because it really allows you to kind of flesh out the sound and get a whole vibe, as the kids would say, for an album. Now, with that, I will say, I didn't feel like this album had anything on here that was like searching to be a big hit, and I think that works to its favor.
Yeah.
Like Jim really just returned to a formula that worked so well for them back in 2003.
Yes.
And fed an audience that would be looking for a Jim Jones album. I mean, if we're being honest, like Jim Jones don't need to be trying to compete with Lil Nas X or nobody like that. You know what I'm saying? You got a certain demographic of people that want to hear music from you. Cater to those people, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, when you do that the right way, you can get an album like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And let that be a note to many of the artists out there. It's like, yo, there are still people that want to hear that type of music. Yeah, it may not be the trendy new hot thing or whatever, what the kids want to listen to.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really matter. Like,
Heatmakers did the old Dipset albums?
Heatmakers did a lot of the old Dipset tracks.
Okay, that's why I love it. You're right. Okay,
yeah, they've been with them for a long time.
Okay,
so like reuniting with them made total sense.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, think about the production on here, man. It sounds like what we figured 2003 New York to sound like. You know what I'm saying? It sounded like old Dipset, heavy on the samples. You know what I'm saying? Lots of soul samples on there, man. Nice little drums. I mean, the rapping is what you expect it to be. It's a lot of baller talk. You know what I'm saying? Talks about the streets and all of that.
Taking vacations.
Exactly. A lot of comedy in there. Lots of Tims.
Yeah,
and,
lots of Tims.
Lots of Cullens. Lots of Rolls Royce Cullen talk on this album. But I wouldn't expect anything else, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? This brought back what I remember to be, New York rap.
Yeah.
From my era. I mean, this is 2003. This brought me back to some old Dipset mixtapes, Diplomatic Immunity and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, hey, you followed a winning formula, so there really was no way for them to miss. I did think that Jim did a great job padding out this album with the features because, like you said, I mean, he knows that he's not the strongest rapper out there, and he's not trying to be.
Yeah.
He's just trying to make the music that, you know, he knows that his audience wants to hear, and he's not really stepping outside of himself. And I feel like, you know, that's doing himself justice. It's like you're not doing a caricature of yourself. You're you know, just doing what you already been known to do and what you've already done well. Like you don't got to step too far out that bag.
Right.
I thought Currency actually made perfect sense on here because it's like, even though he is a Southern rapper, he does a lot of, you know what I'm saying, rapping on those types of soul beats. So it's like, it made sense. It worked.
Yeah.
And I think that was a good way to bring, you know what I'm saying, the semi-new and with, you know what I'm saying, maybe an older sound. Or that wouldn't have worked back in 03, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like getting a down south rapper to rap on those kind of beats. But now it makes complete sense.
Yeah. Freaky Zeke did not make the album.
Hey, man, shouts to Zeke, man. You know what I'm saying? Bring him back. I thought that, you know, hey, man, he brought a lot of New York guys that maybe ain't getting the looks that you would normally figure that they would be getting, like Mano, Fat Joe to some extent, even though, you know, he's still on and popping. Fabulous. Come on, like, that's Mando. Even though I think this may be the first time I've ever heard them on a track together.
Yeah, I think this is the first time they've ever been on a song together. So,
but it felt like it made total sense. Him and Cam back together. Yeah, always a feel good story.
Cam sounded good.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, do I think that this is going to be an album that, you know what I'm saying, resonates and, you know what I'm saying, reverberates across the culture? No. There's a demographic of people that want to hear this, but for anybody that enjoyed the early Dipset era, like if you came up around that time and you like that style of music, this is for you.
If you tied the bandana to your rims.
But the thing is, it doesn't sound. He did a great job of not dating himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
absolutely.
like he took that sound and he just updated it.
Yeah.
And he continued telling his story. And, you know, what more can you ask for, man? You put this together well. It was a well-curated album. Again, I think it speaks to how great it is to work with one producer from time to time.
They threw him a oop, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
They threw him a oop.
A very, very solid project front to back, man. Okay. Nothing to complain about. Jimmy did his thing.
84.
77.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. So, let us know what you guys think. Was I too high, too low? Was Kev too high, too low? Dipset, Jim Jones fans, if you give it 100, you're absolutely right. Just leave it in the comments. Let us know why.
Yeah. And understand, we show love, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't show up in the comments showing hate.
They're going to giving us hate. Bring the Tims to him. Okay?
Yeah, bring the Tims around here, man. But I showed a lot of love, man.
Absolutely.
I liked it.
Well, Joe, I'm in here.
This Kev.
And, we're Games Music Life, man. Drink more water, people.
Peace.
Peace.